Wow, that's a bit of a stretch, don't you think? So, a little while ago, it was announced that Hartley Sawyer, the guy who plays Ralph Dibny, aka Elongated Man, was fired from The Flash due to some racist and misogynistic tweets from about 7-8 years ago. Now, I heard about this a little while ago, but I didn't think anything would happen considering the whole James Gunn situation. If you don't know about that, I'm gonna briefly explain it. So, James Gunn, the director and writer of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, was fired for some really awful pedophilia tweets he made about a decade before. Later on, Disney decided to rehire James Gunn because, well, most likely they couldn't find another director, and all these other studios like Warner Brothers were, hiring him and giving him all sorts of jobs, so clearly other people didn't have a problem with it, so Disney ended up rehiring him. But it doesn't really matter the reasons, but what we learned from all of this is that we shouldn't cancel people from things they said from all those years ago and have since regretted. We should let people have the chance to actually change and grow. Like, what's the point in continuously canceling someone for something they did so long ago? For a show that's constantly about messing up, forgiving yourself, and giving second chances, this is a little hypocritical to me. I think they mainly did this because of the current climate that we're in. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, so I'm not even going to mention it, but I think you know what I'm getting at. I read the tweets, they're pretty bad, but they ain't that bad that you gotta fire the guy. It's the exact same thing as the James Gunn thing. It's something a person says that's ultimately an attempt at some edgy humor, but they've changed now and we shouldn't keep punishing people for that. It's unfortunate to see the cast and crew aren't really supporting him either. Like, the showrunner basically wrote that he was mad at what he saw and that this sort of behavior will not be tolerated, and Grant Gustin, the guy who plays the Flash, basically backed him on it, saying that, words matter. Like, sure, I mean, if Sawyer said that today, then yeah, for sure, cancel him. I don't know the guy, but he seems to at least not publicly say this stuff anymore, and he already released an apology about it, so I don't really get why they're, firing him for this. It's also the producer's fault anyway for hiring a guy that they didn't do a complete background check on, and this seems to be a professional company, so they must have known about the tweets and hired him anyway. But I do understand though, because the current showrunner is new and may not have known about this, and he wasn't the one that hired the actor in the first place, but even so, the higher-ups, I believe, make these decisions, and they definitely knew about those tweets and were simply just throwing him under the bus. Anyway, to conclude, obviously being racist and misogynistic is bad, but these were really just some bad, edgy jokes made about 8 years ago, and we shouldn't keep holding people accountable for past mistakes that they clearly don't even believe in anymore. It really hinders any chance of growth as a person, and I imagine Hartley Sawyer is going to have a tough time making a big career for himself after this. I also want to add, these tweets resurfaced because some girl posted them a while back, and I just want to say, if you find old tweets of a person that say, less than stellar things, I would avoid posting it, as it would pretty much annihilate their career in this day and age, and people really shouldn't be in favor of this cancel culture thing, and it really sucks to see. And another thing I'm seeing a lot on Twitter is that people are advocating for the firing of Danielle Panabaker simply because they don't like her and want Iris to be the only girl on the show. It really baffles me that these Twitter warriors are actually costing people their jobs and are actually wanting someone to be racist just so their ship isn't threatened. Like, that's just disgusting, man. Like, don't do that. Like, y'all are really seriously trying to ruin this woman's career because she advocated slightly for a Barry and Caitlyn romance arc? And there's so many people supporting this too, it just baffles me. I guess that's just a side effect of having a show on the CW, you instantly get these stupid ships that cause toxicity, but I won't get into that anymore. Just don't be stupid. Just, please. I also wonder how they're going to approach this whole thing, as apparently they're not going to cast Ruby Rose as Batwoman, but create an entirely new character? So I'm wondering if they'll just hire a new actor to play Ralph, or they'll actually come up with an explanation as to why a new actor is playing Ralph, or even invent a new character like they're doing with Batwoman. It'll be interesting to find out what they'll do. Obviously, I hope they just backtrack on their statements like Disney did with James Gunn, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, side note, I was thinking about doing a Flash Season 6 review, or maybe a ranked video of the Flash seasons, or just some sort of Flash related video, so if you want to see that, just let me know in the comments. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and what do you think about this situation? Do you agree with me and think they should backtrack on their statements, or do you agree with the studios and that, what they did in firing him was the right thing? I'd love to know your opinion down in the comments below, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Peace.